We're continuing with Paradise Killer. We're standing on top of the barracks, and last time what we were doing was trying to figure out how we can examine this place and extract the sweet, sweet truth within. Unwrap its candy wrapper and find the candy truth. And some people were giving me a little bit of a hint, saying that I need to look elsewhere, that maybe I should be looking up in the higher altitudes of the island. So I was looking around, and I do think that I found what people were talking about. You see, I've gone around just about the entire island, but like there are certain places where I haven't actually gone to. Like I've been around, but not entirely everywhere. It kind of seems like I have been everywhere because I have been walking around, picking stuff up. But it seems like there are some things in some places that have yet to be explored. Can I do this? Yeah, I can do that. Let's go up here. So I went up high on the island, high in this altitude, to see how high I could get. Well, I just fell right off of that, didn't I? Ignore that, Sam. I do like to think about what it must look like to these other characters as Lady Love Dies is just double jumping and air dashing and falling down everywhere. Wondering what she's doing. What is she looking for? What are any of us looking for but the truth? Of course, that's the highest place in the island right there, but we can't get back to Lady Love Dies' little home again. So, went out on this cliff, found some money out here. There it is. And then I realized there is someplace I haven't been. See, in front of us is the shell of the dead zone. We've been inside the dead zone, but I don't think we've been on the dead zone. So there is a roof. Shinji's up here too. What's the shape of crime, Love Dies? The shape? Like a metaphor or something. What shape does crime take? Some crimes are a pyramid, wide at the bottom, but the solution is a narrow point. Some crimes are an inverse pyramid, balancing precariously on a single point with a frighteningly wide conspiracy. You really did have a lot of time up in the Idle Lands, didn't you? I mean, what else are we going to do but think about metaphors? We got this little fenced area here. Let me just check something. Anything else on top of here? There's a thing. There's a something. Maybe a money. There's a money. We'll take that money. All right, so we have this little fenced-in area, which we should probably examine. Door's locked. I don't know where the switch is. It doesn't matter. What's important? There's a nightmare computer here. I thought I got all the nightmare computers, but it turns out there is one up here on top of the dead zone. Use? Use. There we go. This computer controls that valve. This looks like some kind of venting system for the dead zone. I guess the air is filtered so demonic corruption doesn't leak out. Opening this should send the marshals into a panic. I might be able to get into the barracks without being seen in the chaos. Alright, let's interface and cause some mischief.
Nightmare computer unlocked.
Alright. Open it up. This valve is venting the gas from the corrupted zone below. It should set off the demonic detection systems. I'm sure the marshals will be running out of the barracks any moment now. And we can hear the sound of the gas. Just sounds like screaming. Because it's demon gas, you understand. Alright, so Lady Love Dies says, well, The marshals are going to be busy with this. And that is a problem that we were having, that the marshals were not busy. They needed to be busy. Well, if they're busy now, maybe we can head back to... Not that. We want the map. So we're here at Citizen Housing. Marshal Barracks. All right, so we're pretty close to it now. Dead zone's right there, which means... Actually, let's take a look at... See, dead zone is there. Let's take a look at this map again. So dead zone is to the right of us, which means Marshal Barracks should be like that direction. Heading by Deep Factory. I would like to actually go up. Up is a desirable direction. We jump. Is that enough to jump on, to go up? Yep. Well, this is a bit too steep to go up, I think. Even though we have been just sort of wiggling our way up. I don't think we're going to wiggle up there. Sometimes wiggling works. But sometimes it's just too steep and you can't do it. Well, now we're heading to Cahicks's murder site. There it is. Surprising how, so far, that particular murder seems to have been kind of unimportant. You would think finding a completely separate murder would be fairly important. It hasn't been so far. Because we were figuring that it looks right now that Yuri was the murderer. And the thing is that they didn't really need to kill Cahix to get the second seal key, did they? Because Crimson Acid already got it and gave it to Witness. Unless Yuri just was a completely separate person who wanted it, but... that always could be. It always could possibly be that, since we were thinking about there might be separate plots, that maybe Yuri killing Cahix could have been just another person trying to get the second key. We could just do this. To the barracks. Oh, never mind. Well, here's the dead zone. We're back. I still do like how the beach is right next to the dead zone. Everyone just hanging out on the beach, having a good time, drinking some beers, taking in some rays, right next to the sealed-off demon sarcophagus. Hey, where's your house? What's going on? The dead zone's leaking demonic gas. The purifying system seems to have failed. Huh, weird. Now stay back. Yeah, I'll stay away from this. No one would want to get anywhere close to this. I feel sorry that you have to be so close to it and not in, you know, the barracks. That's a shame. A big shame. Hey, should I... I'm the investigator. Should I do something about this? Do you want me to look at it? Where did the other side of this come out? Yeah, that's right. It came out here. Yes. Which really did not offer a path to there. Well, I'm sure that whole demonic gas problem will keep the guards busy for quite some time. We still do have a couple of these green ones, don't we? I don't think we ever use those anywhere. Well, we could try to take the elevator up to the bar just to get a higher level, a higher altitude. Or you could fall back down. It's also it's an option that we could do, and we did. The scenic view of this demonic gas that we're letting loose. We would have been able to see that from our exile house. There's the flags of the marshal. It's like a dog flag. I don't know if I could actually jump that. Probably not. Maybe I should just go around the proper way. Okay, so these barracks is really the last, as far as I know, is the last big place that we haven't actually been in. Yep, and the guards are gone, so there's no one to stop us from our mischief. Red lights are flashing, and clearly no one's supposed to go into this little fenced-off area. But that's never really stopped us. Alright, Nightmare Computer.
Nightmare computer.
Alright. We've got our human skull with the tiny horns. We got our crescent moon with a star. We got our regular goat head. You know, nothing much about this goat head, actually. Nothing really remarkable. It's just a goat head. And that's it. And just a few planets. And there we go. That's an investigation scene. The barracks server room. Tell me your secrets. An encrypted file in a suspicious-looking folder that is outside of the main Marshall files. Starlight can crack the security on it. Prisoner transfer records. Some records about prisoner transfers that stand out. Akiko removed 2 prisoners that are accounted for a day before the murder. Why? Alright. Starlight got me into the Marshall servers. If Akiko finds out, I'm not sure how long my head will stay on my shoulders. This file is encrypted and outside the normal folder structure. It's a photo of a strangled woman. My job is a never-ending joy. The metadata says this came from a folder called Grace Bloodlines _examination. I'll hang on to this. These are prisoner transfer records. Also on the notes there, it says that looking closely, we see the bruising around her throat. The marks aren't uniform. There is an area of more pressure. Let's look at our prisoner transfer records, as well as the desolation cell. There's a prison within these barracks for the non-demon-possessed prisoners. Looks like Akiko removed 2 prisoners 2 days ago. There's no record of them being brought back to the prison. I wonder why Akiko would have removed prisoners. Indeed, why would she? I should probably do one of these. I don't think any of these are that close. No real big hearts around. This does go down pretty deep. Any doors that we can find? And of course, if there is evidence, as we have seen, that does not show up as a heart. Alright, so this would be the statue that I think Henry was talking about. New Knight, the Holy Warrior, the slaughterer of the Chain star system. New Knight is an arrogant goddess that only deems soldiers worthy of her attention. The Syndicate got superstitious after any statues of her outside of Marshall grounds were destroyed by red lightning on the 5th island. Since then, there has only ever been one statue of her on each island. Henry says he remembers seeing New Knight last night. Did he come past this statue? If he did, it means he came through the barracks. This is the only one on the island. That means Henry took a different route to the council building. Which route did he actually take? Well, we already knew that he didn't actually go through the fence. Let's see if we can find the door that will lead. Well, that's probably it there. The door that will lead to the bridge. Let's also take a look around to see if there's anything else of interest. There's also something there. Marshal quarters, mess hall, and training hall. My blood vial hasn't been authorized for this door. I doubt Akiko will allow that. Well, this is a fenced-in area, but I don't see anything attracting our attention in here. Prisoner processing in cells. My blood vial has not been authorized for this door. I doubt Akiko will allow that. Fortunately, some of these doors just aren't locked. Alright, so this would be the front door. The barracks are sealed unless you're a marshal. So that's how someone would come in. And they'd come in here. And, well, we can't go... Oh, armory and combat halls. Can't go in there. This door leads to the barracks. It's a secure tunnel to the desolation cell where Henry is incarcerated. It's coded only to Akiko's blood vial. Right, so if the door by the tunnel was open, then he could have come through here and just left. He could have just gone out to the outside from here if there was a marshal around to let him through the doors. Which, as we suspect, there probably was. Just through here, then through here, then through there. Was there something? No, there wasn't. Open that. Open that. Nothing in these fenced-in areas. Can't open that. Anything here to look at? Oh, there's one of these. Let's give some blood. New Knight. A carving detailing the god New Knight. A humanoid with 2 dog heads. A warrior clad in gold armor. Carries a spear, sword, and a shield. Based her forces in Romania. Just a little tidbit of information. Did we look at this one? Yeah, we did look at that one. So are those all the doors? And of course, our statue here. Right. Yeah, the same thing that we saw. Not seeing anything else to look at. Or at least nothing that's being highlighted. Let's take a look at this. Potential leads. Why did Akiko take prisoners out of the barracks? Still the bit with Carmelina and Witness. Photo of Grace bloodlines. Need a medical opinion of it, so talk to Doom Jazz. If marshals were body swapped, the bodies must have come from somewhere close by. Well, we found those. Let's take a look at this now. So we can talk to Doom Jazz. We can talk to Akiko and Henry. Can't talk to One Last Kiss, even though we think that we found a picture of her dead body. Let's see. I think I've looked at all the doors, unless there's... Because I opened these fences. I looked at all the doors. I can't open them because my blood is not coded to open them. I don't think there's anything else down here. Presumably, though, the marshals will... I assume they will permanently be busy with that whole demonic gas thing. So if we need to come back, we probably will be able to. But I think that was everything that was on the ground floor. And I don't think there was anything up here on this floor. Pretty sure there wasn't. Going up. There's that door right there, which we have been in. We examined. I don't think there was anything else to find. Yeah, I think we're done here. All right. So we have gotten some new topics of conversation. .573 that way. 272 that way. All right. Doom Jazz is closer. I guess there's also a question of if Akiko would want to get violent with us for questioning her about the evidence that we have found. Clearly evidence that, we're not supposed to have. I'm sure she would be quite displeased about finding that we've been, making mischief with the dead zone, so we could snoop in the barracks. And I don't know how forthcoming Doom Jazz will be with information, considering how he feels about Akiko. What do you know about a photo taken of Grace's throat during your examination? I took photos, but they were confiscated by Akiko, classified or whatever. I found one on the Marshal's server. Can I get your opinion on it? The bruising on the throat looks odd. That's because the fingers that didn't aren't uniform. In normal strangulation bruising, you can see areas of pressure from the fingertips and the knuckles. The pressure on these is misaligned. This is normally because the attacker is wearing jewelry, specifically in this case, a ring on their wedding ring finger. What about power armor? No, the gauntlets on the Marshal's power armor are gloves with armor plates on the top of the hands. Who wears a wedding ring? Or wore a wedding ring? This was 10 years ago. Well, 10 years ago, Carmelina was married to Witness, and Carmelina was on the scene. We already hung out all the way with Doom Jazz. So there were no dings or anything there, but that did seem like some relevant information to incriminate Carmelina. Don't know why Carmelina wouldn't have done it instead of having Akiko do it. You think Akiko would be better at it. Alright, so, yep, we're heading to the Desolation Cell, as we do. Thought we were done there. You know, we exhausted all conversation with Akiko and Henry and maxed out. I believe we maxed out their friendships. But it looks like we still do have something to talk with them about. They're not done with us yet. And we're not done with them. Presumably, Carmelina would have wanted Grace dead, so she wouldn't have been able to exorcise Henry, so Henry could be used in the plot 10 years later. I don't know whatever other reason there would be to kill Grace. Hey, you.
Grand Marshal p.14.
All right, Kiko, don't get violent, but what happened with the prisoners you removed from the barracks prison? It's classified, Norosito. I disagree. Why were they removed? Investigator, they were being processed before the slaughter ritual. We don't just open the prison gates and let them wander over to the temple. They were removed before the slaughter ritual. What happened to them? They were processed and returned to their cells. The logs don't show them being returned. You don't have access to the full Marshal network, so you can't prove that. You also don't get to question how I run my army. All right, so her answer is just no. You don't have proof, so no, which is not a great answer. Why did you confiscate the photo of Grace Bloodlines' neck from Doom Jazz after the examination? She was murdered by someone possessed by a demon. Anything related to demonic possession is classified. Is that standard procedure, or just for evidence that doesn't tie into the official story? Standard procedure. You think you're really smart and clever with your snide insinuations, but you're not. You're wrong. Once again, resorting to the "you're wrong" argument. That really is her only argument. May your night be bright, and may you reach the moon. Well, I'm sorry, Akiko, but when we do this trial, things are looking really bad for you. Like, real bad.
Henry Division.
I mean, she's not the only one, but her more than most. Did you go through the barracks last night? Why, you're asking. The only statue of New Night is in the barracks. Well, I guess I did then. Good investigating. You nailed it. Any fucking idea how that happened? What everyone is saying about you did last night might be wrong. Some excitement, finally. Nothing else? Alright, so... let's see. Does not seem that anyone else have anything to talk about at the moment. So let's take a look at this. Bodies must have come from somewhere close by. Well, we found out where the bodies came from. I'm not sure why this note is still here. What else would we need to actually do anything? Is there any unsorted evidence when you're talking about this? Okay, this is under unsorted evidence. Yeah, right. Processed and returned to cells. So, bodies. We know where the bodies came from. We know, I mean, if we looked at those bodies again, I don't think it's going to be any different. So we could, like, that really hasn't happened before in the game, where our description of something changes based on the evidence we found. Oh, wait. Carmelina has something now. That's new anyway. Right, we could look at this again. But I don't think it's going to be any different. No, it's the same. I don't think this is going to be any different either. And this is the same thing that we know. And the murder weapon. This was, well, I should say it's Henry's, the knife Henry had. That they say that he, I mean, technically we don't know if Henry actually ever had this knife. We actually don't know if Henry ever actually made it into the council chamber, since we found that there was a receptacle of blood that was used on Henry. So he didn't necessarily have to make it there. Well, actually, I mean, I guess it's true that the bodies are not here. Like, these are just outlines. Well, no, actually, when we established his vision engine... Okay, no, those are bodies. Those are definitely bodies. The bodies are still here, it appears. So what she's saying, if they must have come from somewhere. Well, we know where they came from, though, is the thing. If she's saying, how did these bodies actually get here? You know, we never did find these red crests. There's plenty of them that we didn't find. You know what we want?
Architect Carmelina's Island.
All right. Talk about her wedding ring. Architect, when did your marriage with Witness end? Why are you asking? Working on something. I assume you'll cooperate. About 9 years ago. Oh. And you wore a wedding ring. Of course. What's this about? Thank you for your help. Hey, do you want to hang out now? Now that I've asked you a very strange, pointed question? How can you be sure that the next island will be perfect? There are no certainties in architecture and design. Both are nebulous and subject... I think there are a few certainties in architecture. Like, I hope there are. Like, I hope that when someone, you know, designs, like, a building, it's like... The designer is not saying, oh, who can say how this whole thing stays up and all together? It's just the will of the cosmos no one can really understand. It's an art you understand, you see. There are a few certainties. We can never be sure that the design of the next island will be perfect. Why are people calling it Perfect 25? The mind always looks for reassurance, something concrete to hold on to. The world is chaotic, and people will crave respite. We believe we have solved the problem of demonic corruption. The syndicate seized upon this as a sign of success, a sign of perfection. Do you think it will be perfect? As close as we've come to it, the Syndicate has so many problems to solve with the islands. Our work is always undermined by the threat of demonic corruption. We cannot do our holy work while our home rots around us. Can the Syndicate cope if Perfect 25 fails? It won't fail. hypothetically, concentrate on your investigation. Let me worry about perfection. Ding. Investigator, can we discuss something of a delicate nature? Yep, time to probe. Do you have something you want to tell the investigator? I wasn't truthful. Witness used that bunker for an illegal study of demons. He wanted to find out all we could for the sake of the island. Ever since the beginning of the syndicate, there has been zero tolerance on demons. The misknowledge frightened him. He trapped a killer demon and experimented on it. I haven't set foot in there for years, since before he started. Where did he get a killer demon? He trapped one, I don't know how. I kept his secret. He still means a lot to me. The killer demon would die when Island 24 ceases to exist. Henry's demon had already done irreparable damage to the island. This one wasn't going to do any more. What about Witness? I put it out of my mind. We fell apart, and each other's matters became private again. Okay, so she knows about it. Oh, I guess we haven't maxed out the hangout. I thought we might, but no, we still have at least one more. So she I mean, it does seem to be true that she had not gone into the bunker for some years because the door logs did confirm that. But now she's revealing that she knows about Witness's whole demon thing. We can talk to Witness. See if he has something to say about killer demons. And we have maxed out with Witness. Witness, I have testimony that you were using the secret bunker for demonology research. From who? Who do you think? Whatever you think you know, you don't. I always work for our holy masters. This has nothing to do with the murder of the council, though. I found a killer demon inside the council penthouse with the victim's blood all over its claws. You think you're onto something, but you don't know what you're talking about. Then why don't you tell me? If you think you have some wild conspiracy theory, you will need to prove it in the trials. I won't talk further about this. See you in court, Witness. Maybe that's it for Witness. It does seem a bit strange, you know, if he was innocent, he certainly didn't seem surprised about the news that there was a killer demon in the murder site with blood all over its claws. You'd think that would be surprising. He did not seem surprised about it. He just said, "You can't prove anything." It's like, yeah, well, I mean, that's not really a good response now, is it? Doesn't seem like anyone else have any points by them. Oh, but the thing about Carmelina's gone. It said we need to keep pressuring Carmelina. That's gone now. There's only one topic left. If the marshals were body swapped, the bodies must have come from somewhere close by. And, you know, I just really want to address every point that this computer is bringing up. Hey, Yuri's up there. What amount? Can we hang out with him? Hey, Yuri.
Yuri Knight.
Let's hang out with Yuri. Got time to chat, Yuri? What is it? You look like the kind of person that likes wine. I do. A refined drink. I am able to enjoy expensive wine, better wine. Well, expensive doesn't mean better, you know. More expensive doesn't mean better. Less popular grapes can give high quality at an affordable price. I don't think that's true, freak. It helps that I have access to older wines. Always a sign of quality. Let's pander to him. A nicely aged wine is luxury. I'm glad you agree. Not everyone can appreciate wine. It isn't something for novices or the lower class. Oh, you're so wise, Yuri. You're knowledgeable. Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye, Yuri. We did not max out with him either. All right. So, okay. We only have this one thing left it's telling us about. The bodies must have come from somewhere close by. And it hasn't changed that after finding out that they must have come from the prison. Is the thing that's bothering me. And we can't talk to anyone, so it's not a subject to bring up. And we're not learning any more information from looking at these bodies. Somewhere close by. Well, what is close by? There are these support pillars. There's some statues down there. There's the beach. There's water down there. There's more water down there. There's like more rocks down there. There's inside here. Well, we already went up to the roof through the maintenance hatch. And there was no blood on the maintenance hatch, was there? So you wouldn't think that they could have been dragged in through there. There is the corridor, but supposedly only Carmelina and Amanagate, we would think, would know about this. And if Akiko was the one who replaced the bodies, I don't think she would know? I just wanted to check to see if I unlocked that. There's some money down there that I haven't gotten. We have a lot of money. Like, money has never really been a problem. And we've been here. You know, we have gone up this path before. It wasn't really anything new from this. Let me get like a good look from far away. If we wanted to find somewhere, again, bodies must have come from somewhere close by. So how close is it talking about? Because I'm kind of getting, like, not close now. Well, we do have quite a view from here. Bodies are down there. Right, that takes us up here by the goat. And then this is how we ended up finding the roof of this place. Which is how we ended up finding the car over here. Well, the tire tracks of the car. And then the rope that was going down. That's what led to this. Bounce off the wall.
Reporting.
We've never been able to go into Doom Jazz's clinic. The only thing we know... There's that money over there. The only thing we know is that his back door, the log is broken. So you can't actually confirm whether or not he went in or out. So that means he could have gone through there to supply the canister of blood to Akiko. But we can't really get anything else on him. Here is one of these foot baths. We already activated this foot bath. Unfortunately, I guess we cannot stack the foot baths. It would be good if we could just keep taking... like foot bath after foot bath to keep increasing our powers. Imagine if the foot baths could just keep... like, you take the double jump foot bath, you just keep taking that foot bath over and over again. Oh, hey, it's one of those. One of these red crests. You just keep taking these multiple foot baths. Oh, hey, there's a door. Yeah. Yeah. And we have not seen this computer. This is a new nightmare computer. So this is new territory.
Computer.
For as much as I've wandered, clearly I have not wandered enough. There was more wandering to do the whole time. This particular pyramid's image always makes me think of Mum-Ra's pyramid from Thundercats. No, not that one.
Nightmare computer unlocked.
Cardboard boxes and like a trail of something. Looks like something or someone has been dragged through this shed. And this looks like human waste. A couple days old at most. Akiko removed 2 prisoners from the barracks prison recently. Were they in this shed? It's a lot of human waste. It's quite a bit of it, isn't it? Well, we don't have anything by Akiko. No exclamation point. Does anyone have one? Doom Jazz doesn't either. Oh, notes are gone. There are no notes left. All notes are gone. Well, if there are no notes... that might actually mean the investigation is over. We never collected all these, though. I mean, I wouldn't know. Let's see. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 8. There are 2 left. Presumably, there's somewhere in this area. I think all of the red ones we have found have been somewhere in this general area. It's probably not worthwhile to try to find them all. It probably isn't. But something that we could do is we could see if maybe enough time has passed. Maybe we could hang out with Carmelina and see if we can actually max that out.
Targeted Carmelina silence.
Can I ask you something? I want to give you something, investigator. Ooh, flawless blood dancer eye. An eye? It's the eye of a worshipper of Blood Dancer. It's been preserved and reformatted into a storage device, as one does. Turn someone's eyeball into a USB stick. The Chronicles of Blood Dancer have been imprinted into it. By examining the crevices of the eye, you may learn about the god. Blood Dancer caused multiple planet-wide genocides as he perfected his insane technology. That's a good sentence. There are always sacrifices for progress, investigator. I have doubt about these sacrifices. I don't know if that is true, architect. It depends on your priorities, investigator. A life lived purely for others denies your true self. A life lived in balance sees a glimpse of potential. Why would I want to deny progress? To deny potential is to deny progress. You understand? Investigating is not just a job, it is a craft. You fail in your craft and the world suffers. Please go and enjoy the island, Lady Loved Eyes. Through it, you may learn more about yourself. Thank you for your time, architect. Oh, and do you want a bone? No? Okay. A gift from Carmelina, a preserved eye which has had the chronicles of the god Blood Dancer recorded to it. Max level. May the silent goat walk with you and may you reach the moon. Alright, that's it for Carmelina. Unless someone at some point has invokes something that causes another conversation to happen. So let's see. We did max out Sam. Lydia, right? I think so. Akiko, Henry, certainly. Witness, certainly. Let's go talk to Yuri again.
Yuri Knight.
Got time to chat, Yuri? Can we make this the last time, freak? Have you ever been in love, Yuri? Love doesn't offer anything. Love constrains ambition. It blinds you to your goal. But what about learning about others? Love can make you understand more about yourself and others. I understand myself and others just fine. Some of us are rulers and the rest are meant to be ruled. The world is very simple, freak. You people confuse yourselves with love and affection. It dulls your senses and stops you from achieving excellence. If you open your heart, you open your mind. Goodbye, freak. Goodbye, Yuri. Max level. He didn't give us anything. We didn't get a gift. I guess I'm not surprised about that. I guess I really should not be surprised that that's how our conversation with him ends. So we haven't... I don't think we really did too much hanging out with One Last Kiss. We could try it and see what we got. See what conversations we might have. Kind of surprised we can't talk to her about, you know, the strangling and all. That's still going in the distance. Those marshals just don't know what to do about it. Let's see. She's on the top of that, isn't she? Well, fortunately, I do think there's like a fast travel point right next to her. Like, the building we're in front of, just like the top of it.
One last kiss.
Yeah, we can hang out. Got time to chat? I have all the time in the world until the island ends. Are you worried about blinking out of existence when this island ends? What a wonderful bedside manner, investigator. If you do your job, then I have nothing to worry about. My killer will be brought to justice, and I can be laid to rest. Let's ask about the afterlife. Are you hoping for an afterlife? Heaven, hell, eternal paradise in the cosmos, or an endless suffering in whatever the degenerate hell the gods have devised? It isn't something to worry about. It can't be helped. What if there is no afterlife and you spend your life hoping there is? What a waste. Do you believe in the afterlife, investigator? Does Lady Love Dies believe in the afterlife? Maybe she believes that life is to be lived. Life is to be lived, not spent waiting. Bravo, investigator. You get it. Isn't it heresy to not work toward heaven with the gods? Just because something is heretical doesn't mean it's wrong. Besides, you can do the work of the gods without being burdened by the worry of heaven and hell. Attachment leads to suffering. Trust me, I have a unique perspective on this. I'll take that advice on board. Nothing about demonology. May you always live in the shadow, and may you reach the moon. So I'm sure that there are a few things to talk about concerning hanging out, but just to go over this again, max out, maxed. Pretty sure we maxed both of them. Maxed. Yuri is now maxed. So One Last Kiss would be the only one that we have not maxed. And I think it's just like, there's like a little bit of, like maybe a few minutes before you can hang out with them again. Let's just see. Let's just come back later. All right. So we've done all of the... done all the notes that it's given us. We, I think, have gotten maybe all of the evidence that we can get, or at least any clues or suspicions that we followed up on, and we were able to get information on them. So the game does not have any more notes for us at this point. And if that's the case, then it could entirely be possible that it's time, finally time, to go back to Judge and start the trial. I don't actually know how the trial goes, what the gameplay to that is, but I've always been figuring that the more evidence that we've been able to find during the course of the investigation, that probably means the more options we will have when it actually comes time for the trial, because I have been told that you could just start this trial at any time, and you just work with whatever you have at that, whatever the time is that you start it. So, if we wanted to have as much as we possibly could have when it was time for the trial, well, we needed to spend as much time as possible investigating.
One last kiss.
There we go. Got time to chat? I have all the time in the world until the island ends. Is the syndicate worth saving? That's for you to decide. For better or worse, the crime happened. The syndicate was on a straight path. Now the path branches. The truth you believe in will determine the fate of the syndicate. Which branch do you think we should take? Weed out the corruption. The syndicate is no place for paranoia and conspiracy, even though there's a lot of both of those things. We have a holy cause. We have forgotten that. we were in a position to craft a perfect society. Perfection? You said there was no such thing as perfection. So I did. The idea of perfection is intoxicating. We always let our guard down and start believing in it. We kidnap people from the real world and force them to worship our gods. They're pressed into service on the island, working in factories and farms before being killed in a mass slaughter ritual. Hard to imagine much perfection coming from that. Perhaps we should wipe the slate clean? How do we do that? I have no idea, investigator. Ding. May you always live in the shadow, and may you reach the moon. Well, while we're waiting for that... Actually, let me just check something here. While we're waiting for another hangout with one last kiss. Can I just, like, hang out with you in the car? Because I want to confirm that I maxed out your hangout. Let's see. We find... Let's see. We find Lydia somewhere by the beach, right? Yeah, I think she's up there. Let's just make sure that we have maxed her out. I know we maxed out Sam.
We see a daybreak.
No, we haven't maxed her out. Okay. Let's go for a drive, LD. What's good to eat on this island? The Deep Factory nailed the meat this time. Synthetic meat, that is. Notice how there's now livestock on the island? The Deep Factory got expanded. Actually, I didn't notice livestock at all. All the meat is made from a culture or bugs. There's a huge caverns full of bug breeding and meat growing operations. How's it taste? Does it taste good? Yeah, real good. Yuri always claims it doesn't taste like the real thing, but he's just that type. He's the pickup I dread each time. The amount of bullshit that comes out of his mouth is out of control. I've noticed that, yes. Thinks he's a wine connoisseur. Dude, you live on a synthetic island where the grapes are grown underground in a lab. This isn't high-end stuff. He tried to tell Sammy all about whiskey one time. Sammy renounced violence, but I thought Yuri was about to get an ice pick in his eye. Sorry, LD. Didn't mean to go off. He drives me crazy. You vent all you want. He's new to me. I'll trust you on this. Well, he's not that new to us anymore. Ah, appreciate it. I'll drop you at the beach again. Perfect. Now we can still hang out. May your specter gaze upon the star, and may you reach the moon. Alright, I guess we're going back and forth between Lydia and One Last Kiss now.
Travel unlocked.
We got Symbol of a Kiss. A kiss while the many-eyed goat watches is the most romantic of kisses. Remember, you can't release while the goat is watching. Back to One Last Kiss.
One last kiss.
Nope, cannot hang out yet. I've all... No, well... Okay, it's not going to let us hang out yet. All right. So even though it's, you know, it's... Some time has passed, night's falling, not letting us hang out yet. You know, we were never able... Oh, you know, Shinji is, like, hanging out right on the top of that. I never noticed that. I guess we could probably use our mobility to, like, get up on there. I was about to say, we never got, like, on top of that power station with, like, this big rotating thing on it. Because considering how big it is and you can see it from anywhere, you'd think you'd be able to get up close to it, but we never did. I wonder if Shinji will ever come up during the trial. Because it does seem weird that there's like this demon hanging out here, even though they're not supposed to be any demons anymore. Do these days feel short to you? When the island ends, the flow of time gets weird. Technically, we're still on the last day of the island, so the crime still happened last night. Now I get it. Get what? Why you people are so messed up? Well, yeah, I guess immortality will do that to you. Alright, so here's a big close-up look of the reality folding drive. Doesn't seem like there's anything else up on this roof. Maybe do one of these. Nothing showing up. Alright, just wanted to talk to old Shinji. Just noticed he was hanging out on this roof and just had to go see him. Go back to One Last Kiss. See if we can hang out yet.
One last kiss.
Here we go. Got time to chat. I have all the time in the world until the island ends. How do you deal with a corrupt ruling class? No society has ever worked that out. The real world would be a different place if they had. The ruling class are more insidious than the gods. They corrupt all that they touch, mutating society to be something that only benefits them. For every ruler that meets the guillotine, another takes their place. Society births them with no respite. What would you do? Well, let's try to answer seriously. Change hearts to change minds? I hope you're right. I hope you can do it. The cycle will repeat until you do. I have enjoyed our conversations, but you have a job to do. Paradise needs saving. I will assist you where I can. Oh, investigator, I have something for you. I don't need it anymore. Why do I need it? Never forget that the clock is ticking. One Last Kiss's watch. She doesn't need it anymore. And that's it for One Last Kiss. May you reach the moon. I mean, we said we would try to change hearts, but it might end up being that we just end up killing everyone. That's an entirely real possibility.
Begin daybreak.
Lydia, when we hang out, do I always have to be in the backseat of the car? Think you'd ever go back to the old life? You mean being an assassin? You asking because of the case? Just chatting. This is all off the record. Just chatting, even though with me nothing's off the record, really. I told you that part of my life is over. Got no taste for it. Do you miss it? I miss the abstract. Ignoring the actual murder part, having a skill to get good at was good. Gave me a purpose. These hands aren't for killing now. You get a long time to think on these islands. It's not worth it. What isn't worth it? Ending lives. What's the point? Life is too important to end early. My line of work was just facilitating another person's ambition. You should be working for yourself, not someone else. What about working for the syndicate? That's different. We're part of something here, a higher calling. We worship our gods and work for their glory. Not the same as a few coins for a slit throat. What about you? Happy to be working again? I mean, she is, yeah. I'm the investigation freak. The old nickname. Something to live up to. I'll drop you back at the beach again. This time I brought you something. Is this one of your paintings? Yeah, from one of the beaches. Well, I mean, sure, let's be grateful for the present. This is amazing. Thanks, Lydia. Something to remember your return to paradise by. If I get an apartment on the next island, this will get pride of place. Appreciate it, LD. Listen, I've enjoyed our drives, but you need to get this thing solved, so there is a next island. Get at me if you've got a question about the case, yeah? Will do. Thanks again, Lydia. Ding. And I guess that's our final ding. Painting by Lydia captures the beauty of the island's coast. Max level. May your specter gaze upon a star, and may you reach the moon. And I think now we've maxed out everyone. Everyone's gotten maxed. Hey man, what are you doing here? Stay back, freak. I mean, it's way over there. You don't have to be hanging out over here. So okay, we've maxed out all of the friendships. We've exhausted all conversations. We've wiped out all of the investigation notes. So I think at this point, it's finally time to say that the investigation side of the story is done and over, and it is time to actually begin this trial. The only thing that could possibly keep us from doing that is if we had more treats to feed to Bear-chan. Unfortunately, we do not. We do not. So, I think that's going to be it for Paradise Killer for right now, but when we come back, when we get back to this, it's finally going to be time to go to Judge and say that we're going to start the trial and that we know who the murderer is. And when Judge says who's guilty, everyone? I don't know how thrilled Judge is going to be, actually, with our answer. If we go to Judge and say, Judge, what would you say, hypothetically, if everyone was guilty? I don't know how thrilled Judge is going to be about this. But, I mean, that's the truth that we have come to, isn't it? That does seem to be our truth. So that does mean that when we come back, we're going to start the trial, and we're going to find out what actually that involves, and how all of this information and how all of this evidence that we've been collecting all this time, how is this actually going to come into play when we begin this trial? We know that whoever is found guilty gets shot with the gun. So in the end, who will get shot? Will it be everyone? I guess we'll find out when we come back to Paradise Killer.